Yo! So, the video that I'm going to do today, and part of the fact that I'm redoing this, because for some reason a lot of people gave dislikes. Probably my number one fan group, but that's besides the point. I'm just going to redo this one in specific. And this is usually, this is what I keep in my con bag. Now, of course, it's going to vary with everybody, but this is kind of like, for me personally, watching things and watching all the videos and watching so many people, and this is kind of what I've found to be helpful. So, with that being said, let's continue. One last thing I forgot to talk about. Hand sanitizer! You don't want cosplay. You seriously do not want it. I recommend hand sanitizer. Mine in specific usually is on the side of my bag. And I forgot to include this, so this will probably be a clip in the first part and then me introducing myself again. Yes. Okay, so normally I usually, depending on who I'm cosplaying or what I'm cosplaying, will depend on an Ida bag. This is my normal go-to one for like practically every day. If I'm in any miraculous characters, it's this one. I have one for like magical girls, one for childhood and kind of like my favorite things, and then the last one being inside jokes and buttons that I've just gotten in general from conventions. And then of course my camera, one of my camera bags that has a bunch of buttons in it too that are my favorites as of right now. So I'm going to begin this way to this way, as you can't see them off screen anyways. But main three things that usually are on me almost at all times: phone, water bottle, keys. And no, before you ask if you guys see what is on my keychains, I usually do not keep all of that on me. It's usually the bare minimum because of where the conventions are usually located around here where I'm from. But pretty much those are usually what are on me at all times. Mostly because I don't get a chance to stay at the hotels. Plus, it's not that far of a drive from where I live, apparently. It's not that bad to begin with. And I mean, pretty much, water bottle is pretty obvious because it's like you're going to need to keep hydrated no matter how much you want to keep going. You need to keep hydrated. And usually along with that, I'll keep like the water packets. I usually keep like 3 different ones on me. And as well as that, but another big thing that a lot of cosplayers forget about is snacks. Always keep your snacks on you. And as well as that, but I usually keep mint gum and mint candies on me, but like snacks in general. Something salty, something sweet. And usually, because they don't allow candy in, I have to hide it. I usually hide it in this little pouch. Now, okay, let's see here. I can pile these together. So, of course, I get a lot of change back usually, so I will keep it in this little pouch. And then, of course, business cards. Anybody's business cards that I get throughout the weekend will go in this one. And then, of course, my main wallet. That has my ID, has pretty much everything needed for a convention and all that, plus the place to keep your actual like paper cash versus change. Sometimes I'll keep a deck of cards on me, it just depends. Since I'm usually lone wolf, I don't really keep these on me most of the times. Okay, let's see here. So pretty much, I'll keep things inside of like bags inside of bags. So the first bag that I'm going to go with is my sewing kit, which I have 3 things of thread, which is black, white, and red. And especially because that's what kind of my color scheme is for this con. I also probably need to add purple in here. And then a measuring tape, which is also a keychain. And then of course on top of that, I have needles. It is disguised as a lipstick container. Some crazy glue, because you never, like I said, pretty much for me, you never know when something's going to fall apart. I have a lot of safety pins. I think all the safety pins are in this one. Nope, this is another sewing kit. Buttons, some bigger bobby pins, and some chains. And then this smaller one that's Get a Beep has all the, bobby pins. Safety pins. So that's usually, I'm literally a walking pharmacy and walking repair kit. This is the pharmacy part. I have literally cough drops, KT tape because I'm always injured, and you'll see that in another part that I tend to keep a couple of different KT tapes in places. But there's caffeine gum, there's literally everything in here. I have Motrin, Tylenol, Band-Aids, all that in a little box. Okay, so this first Gudetama bag is usually more of the like face and feminine product stuff, such as stuff that you'll need for everyday emergencies. There's such like sheer tape. I have a stain remover in here. I have packets of deodorant because God forbid people, my whole gripe, just leave it at that. If I'm leaving to a con before I take my meds, I usually take my little container with me. Again, little mirror, compact mirror. Another mirror with a comb, because wigs, of course. Chapsticks. Like I said, perfume, essential oils. And also this one's very helpful because this is actually called anxiety relief, and it does help with anxiety. So this is one that's been my go-to. I have a bunch of rubber bands because God forbid people actually keep rubber bands on them and ask to use rubber bands. So I usually have a stock of rubber bands. Eye drops, because a lot of people have the color contacts, or with me I have my regular contacts with astigmatism. That's why I don't wear color contacts. But even with my prescription in particular, the astigmatism is very bad in both my eyes, so it kind of feels like there's rocks in my eyes at times, which this is helpful. This is your best friend, this is your buddy. And then, like I said, a bunch safety bobby pins. And that's usually what's in my emergency face and emergencies. Now on to, let's see here. This is more so on like the electronic side of things, and yeah, pretty much electronics, so to speak. Now, first and foremost, my camera does go with me to conventions, so depending on, again, character, it'll either be in this little hard box container or my little bag that's literally covered with all kinds of buttons and stuff that have become my favorites. And inside the bags, or well, more or less bag, will be, because God forbid everybody and their Aunt Emma brings a speaker, I've decided to join in on this and bring my own little speaker. This is a really, really loud speaker. It's very, very helpful. It has been dropped at least a few times and it still works, so I'm very impressed with this. I usually will also have my 3DS on me, depending. because of course street passes, you know, your typical walking around with it, getting in all that workout. Again, this is what I mean by I am a walking like person to pretty much come up to and ask for anything. Battery packs. Battery packs are like my number one go-to. Especially because I'm like, these are, your cell is always looking for service. It might die during the convention. All that fun stuff. Like, you never know. So it's good to have backups and multiples. I've also learned that with my camera too, especially because my camera is so finicky. And I love to record masquerades, so that takes up a good portion of a battery. Nope. And all that, so I've been gifted 2 of these. And all. Can you? And of course, in my electronics bag is also another piece of KT tape. Along with that, but I have a bunch of SD cards and a USB port. And the USB port is actually because since I'm a performer and I like to be in the masquerade and show off my work, I've been doing a lot of things to music, so that's kind of why this is in here. In fact, I need to actually take that out and prepare for the next masquerade stuff. Again, another big thing, your cord for your phone or whatever you need to charge. And it's nice because people who now ask me to borrow a charger, I'm like, sure, if you have your own charger, because I have a C port now, so I can't really borrow or lend people my chargers. And as well as that, but headphones, because again, crowded areas, sometimes you need to relax or like tune out for a little bit. Emergency flashlight. It's very, very bright. And that's only because I've had some very, very interesting luck at one convention where we've kind of needed light and I didn't have anything really bright. So this kind of stays with me now. And then you guys might call me crazy, you guys might call me weird, but I keep a little bag of crystals on me. These are all for Pisces. And the reason I do that is because these are all like grounding stones to me. These are what keep me calm. These are kind of my essentials, so to speak. And then of course I have my driving stuff and all that fun stuff. And then the last thing I usually keep, I'll either keep it in the car or in the hotel room depending on what I'm doing, but an extra bag, because you never know what you're going to get at said convention. This will fit prints, this will fit practically everything you buy, except for maybe figurines. But I usually don't. I'm the kind of person that'll just go for keychains and buttons, as you guys clearly see with have seen with all my Ida bags. I am more of a button collector and keychain collector. But yeah, pretty much with that in mind. Oh, and then going off of that real quick, but I usually keep a pen and some Sharpies on me too, just in case. Like, you never know if you're going to need to write something down. You never know if someone's going to need to write something down. Like, that's just inevitable. But I mean, pretty much with this being said too, this is kind of what I keep in my bag. Every bag is different. I also from time to time will keep some extra makeup on me depending, because especially if I don't have a hotel room, I will need to keep whatever makeup looks I'm going to do for another character in said car or in backpack. So I'll have those on me too, depending. But I mean, besides all this, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be seeing you guys next video. Bye!